Hello, I'm Andy Walker with Digital Farm TV Rural News. Last year, West Australian dairy farmer Greg Chapman began a personal boycott of products from West Farmers, owners of Coles supermarkets, as a protest against the $1 a litre milk campaign. He took his order for the $200,000 of fertilisers a year away from West Farmers subsidiary CSBP, while the family stopped buying food and hardware from Coles and Bunnings. Last month, he went one step further. At the annual conference of the West Australian Farmers Federation, Mr Chapman called on all rural families to take their business away from West Farmers subsidiaries. Mr Chapman said he had been called by many farmers who disapproved of the West Farmers Coles retail tactics. He said an increase of just 5 cents a litre for milk would mean little to consumers or Coles, but for farmers, it would be the difference between the industry being sustainable or not. A sheep producer in southern New South Wales has taken drastic action in an attempt to win state help controlling wild dogs. Last week, Russell Murdoch from Cancoban threw the carcasses of 11 lambs, the latest victims of wild dog attacks, on the doorstep of his local National Parks and Wildlife Service office. Mr Murdoch said the wild dog problem in the area had become worse each year, and he hoped his demonstration would prompt some real action. Last year, Mr Murdoch and other trappers killed 37 wild dogs, but Mr Murdoch lost 40 sheep, with many others injured during the same period. American researchers have found that an ingredient in garlic is 100 times more effective than regular antibiotics in fighting one of the most common causes of food poisoning. The researchers say their work has opened the door to new treatments for bacterial poisoning from raw and processed meats and from food preparation surfaces. They looked at the ability of a garlic-derived compound, diallyl sulfide, to kill antibiotic-resistant bacterium. He said the garlic compound was 100 times more effective than regular antibiotics. The researchers did stress that while eating garlic was generally a healthy practice, it was unlikely to prevent food poisoning on its own. The New South Wales Department of Primary Industries has just launched a brand new smartphone app for grain, cereal and pulse growers called Variety Chooser. Variety Chooser features a full suite of crop varieties with a number of new varieties such as field peas, faba beans and lupins included, according to DPI Manager for Broadacre Cropping, Miles Parker. The app had been updated with yield results from GRDC national variety trials and allowed farmers to quickly and easily compare yields across a range of options. The latest information on crop diseases such as stripe rust was also now available through the new app. Variety Chooser allowed producers to quickly and easily input a range of crop factors and receive advice on the best crop variety for their own unique situation, according to Miles Parker. In news from the UK, a mysterious bug known as Schmallenberg virus has left thousands of hideously deformed newborn animals in its wake. Most of the casualties to date have been lambs, but amid fears for other species, cattle are now beginning to succumb. The most widely accepted theory is that the virus was carried to Britain by midges from Holland and Germany, where the disease had emerged last year. So far, 256 farms in the UK have been hit, with 220 reporting infections in sheep and 36 in cattle, although biosecurity authorities say it's possible that the true toll is higher. The farms worst hit by the virus have lost up to 20% of their lambs.